Hi, Cancer. Welcome to Pure Tarot. Tonight we're doing How Do They Feel About You Deep, Deep Down. Let's look at how they perceive you, what they think, how you make them feel. That's too many. Well, there's two here. Let's look at those. Why not? The corn and the owl. Corn was life to the civilizations, all of the American Indians and all of the Aztecs and the Mayan civilizations, right, of North America. So it's a great symbol of abundance. So Cancer, this person perceives you to be, or what you mean for them. It's like you are a symbol of abundance to them. I feel like they find that you are like food to them, like soul food, heart food, spiritual food. So there's quite an exchange of, you're both feeding one off the other, or like feeding each other in the most beautiful way, right? In terms of how much this connection has, I guess, the power of both providing something to the other, like sharing and exchanging and growing together. Because by feeding one another and by, it's like I see you, if you feed a plant, if you feed an animal, a baby, they will grow. They will come to maturity, right? And also create more growth and exchange. It's a very interesting relationship where it's almost like there's a purpose to your relationship with this person, Cancer. So that's how they, deep down, they feel for you this sort of reciprocity, and they also feel like you are making their life so much more full. And they have this, the owl here is showing that they've gained that awareness about the connection with you. It makes them wiser. They feel that associating themselves with you and relating to you makes them wiser, makes them maybe even wiser in terms of how they use their abundance, how they, either, I don't know, spend their money, how they manage the food in the, like, are they cooking? Are they throwing away the food? They wouldn't, but I'm just saying, like, it's very specific in terms of managing resources. I see them as gaining in terms of almost like gaining the knowledge of how to manage the abundance or the wealth of the relationship. And I say this, it could even be in terms of emotions, right? They, I don't, it's like I'm sensing, like someone who might have been more needy in the past. And so I get this idea that they would binge on people in terms of wanting a lot of attention and a lot of love. And here in this particular connection with you, Cancer, this is being managed differently. And there's quite an awareness here and like more wisdom in terms of how they're actually sort of, like the way the consumption of it's really strange. It's really specific to how they would nourish themselves, how they would take from you and give back. Of course, it would be an exchange, but this sort of it's a really strange energy of how they would manage their wealth and the emotional wealth of the relationship. Like wanting to discover you like slowly instead of trying to get to know everything about you too quickly, like saving like sometimes, you have a meal and some people, it's interesting because some people start their meal with what they will eat first, what they love the most in the plate. And some people do the opposite. They save what they prefer last and eat it last. This is how it comes off. It's really strange. It's a weird analogy of how they would want to savor you differently. And not deplete the connection too quickly. And make sure that they would have periods of growth in between so that it would never go dry. And it's all due to this awareness. That's really, it's a funny message, Cancer. I admit. Okay, let's pull some cards here for you. Some tarot. Seven of Swords. We have here the Strength in reverse. Let me show you the card upright. Came out in reverse. And the Ace of Cups. You see, the Seven of Swords here, usually is the thief of the tarot cards. And it's this binge energy or this thieving energy of how this person would relate in the past in terms of wanting to suck everything out of a person very quickly, and not leave any room for discovery and taking the time to grow the connection in between and making sure not to deplete, this sort of beautiful abundance of there's quite a feeding energy, right? That the fact that you'd be nourishing one another or be nourishment to the other. Soul food, right? And so this Strength in the reverse here is this person would be maybe behaving like this a bit out of I'm going to say the word, it's very strong, but a little bit like a coward. Like feeling scared. Feeling scared the person would walk out and leaving them empty. And so this new awareness here with the owl is the awareness that basically there's so much abundance here with the corn that this Ace of Cups here, it will always overflow. So your partner Cancer is finally realizing deep down that, you know, you'll provide incessantly. And so it kind of hits them like after the fact, right? But they will learn to behave differently with you. They will learn to come at you slower and, you know, take what you have to give and then give back in return and feed the connection in a much more balanced way. And, you know, having the faith that it's always going to be bountiful. It's a different, this person is really changing how they're relating, and they're approaching you differently than what they've done in the past with their past relationships, inside of their past relationships. Interesting. The skeleton. Well, you know, the Mexicans, the Day of the Dead in the Mexican in their celebrations, right? Which is like their Halloween. It's quite an important day for them. They really honor their ancestors. And they have, they make food offerings to the dead on that day. It's really interesting because Cancer is such a, you guys are really food oriented as well, right? Deep down, this person, Cancer, this person that you're dealing with, you're definitely soul food for them. This is very different. This love that they want to show you and they perceive that you have for them is really changing the way they approach their relationships. That's how they feel deep down. They know it. They have an inner knowing. There you go. Talk to you soon.